right, here we go. How's it, everybody? Welcome back to Ukulele Pua Pua. This is Kāʻili. I'm at Ukulele Pua Pua in Waikiki, Hawaii, in the Sheraton Waikiki. And today I'm going to teach real quick a little bit of explanation. By the way, how's everybody on Instagram? Thanks for joining. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube, thanks for joining as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that pre-recorded video that I put up. Hopefully you enjoyed that format, especially if you're on like the East Coast or Central and you couldn't really, watch this late. But these videos will be up for you guys to watch at any time after I'm done. So feel free to watch over and over again after this is done. It should go up on IGTV. It should also go up on Facebook and on YouTube. So yeah, welcome everybody. So, okay, a little bit of context. So basically, I have a student that I've been teaching, and I'm not going to say her name, but she has been curious about not just playing ukulele, but specifically she wants to play reggae. And the thing about reggae is that it's a very unique style, and it has some basics that you need to learn first, but it's not impossible. So we went over this in detail. I'm just going to show you guys some of the basics so that you can kind of follow along with me. By the way, I just noticed, that's interesting. It's like the yellow on my mask is somehow like a green screen, and the green as well. That's weird. You can't see it on Instagram, but you can see it on the video. So go ahead and look at our Facebook or our YouTube later, and you'll see I got a green screen going. It's like I have a hole through my face and there's a picture behind it, but when I move, you can't see it. Anyway, distractions aside, good to have everybody. So basically, what I wanted to go over is how to play reggae. So for you guys on Facebook and Instagram, or Facebook and YouTube, you can't really see me. So I'm going to bring the screen down. Oh, you can even see that on my shirt. You guys got to check out Facebook and YouTube right now. But yeah. So I'll move it down here on Instagram. So you're just going to see the ukulele right now. And you can see Domo to my left here, the Domo ukulele. If you guys want to check that out, let us know. But yeah, anyway, so what I wanted to go over is just the basics of playing the ukulele and reggae. And you can actually use this. There's crossover on electric or acoustic guitar, either one. So basically, these are the 6 steps. I'll go over that real quick. It's in the description if you're on Facebook or YouTube. On Instagram, you guys can just listen right now. So first thing is you have to learn your basic strumming techniques, both standard and swing. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about strumming patterns. Strumming patterns are going to be based off of your standard and swing strums. Okay? So if you don't learn those first, then learning strumming patterns it can actually set you back. You need to know how to build up from that. So make sure you learn the standard strum, and I'll demonstrate right now. It's really simple. I'm just going to do a C real quick. So it's very consistent, very robotic. Down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. In case you can't hear me, I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So your down strums and your up strums are going to follow just like when you tap your foot. So your down strums are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and so on. But when you lift your foot, it's going to be and. So like this, and. So you're just going to follow that with your strumming. So your down strum is going to be on the down beat when you put your foot down, when you tap your foot, or when you bob your head, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the up beats are the and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so strumming, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And very simple, very basic. Most strumming patterns based on 4 counts, which is what reggae is, based on 4 counts, are going to be using that strumming pattern, or it's going to be based on the swing strum. Just going to make sure I got the screen on here. So the swing strum is you're going to swing it. But what musicians mean by swinging is if you've broken up your beats into 1 E and a, usually what we're doing on the regular strum, the standard strum, is strumming down on the 1 and the and. Right? So we're cutting out the E, we're cutting out the up. Now what we're going to do for the swing strum is we're going to delay it a little bit so that the up strum is no longer on the and, but delayed to the up. All right? So Hopefully you guys can still see me. We got 1 E and a. So we're just gonna go 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. I'll demonstrate that for you on a C chord again. Here we go. It sounds like this. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and so on. Okay? Once you learn those two things, mind you, you need to practice that for quite a while. Once you learn those two things, you're going to practice your bar chords. Okay? So by then, you're going to know your open chords pretty well, at least in the key of C, right? Next, you're going to learn is bar chords. And the reason I'm saying bar chords first is because bar chords are easier to do the reggae strum on, right? So let's say I do a bar chord C. Okay, so my first finger is on the bottom two strings, the E and A string of this, the 3rd fret. My second finger is on the 4th string on the C, the 4th fret C string, and then my ring finger here is on the top string, the G string of the 5th fret. Okay. Now you can also take your first finger and bar it, especially if you can't bend your finger back like this. Okay, but I'm not going to go too into detail. This is basically, you can do it like this, or like this. You can cover 3, 2, or all 4 strings with your pointer finger. It doesn't really matter. Whatever is comfortable. Okay, so that's what it should sound like. Now, if you notice, I have my ring finger here. My pinky, muting the string in between to stop the vibrations from all 4 strings. And what you can also do is, if you notice, when I strum down, I am squeezing the strings. What I'm not doing in between is keeping that pressure. So if you want it to ring, keep pressure on all 4 strings. But because I'm touching all 4 strings, I can just release my fingers on the pressure, but I'd still keep my fingers in place. And there you go. You have a mute. Okay? And you can play around with that. You can go. Okay, so it's easier to mute a bar chord than it is to mute an open chord. So you want to practice that first. Mute on your down. Okay, and I want you to strum down and up every time, just your standard strum. And every time you go down on the 2nd and the 4th beat, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you just want to squeeze, put pressure on the 2 and the 4, and immediately before and after, you're going to relax your fingers so that you mute all 4 strings. Okay, so far so good. What you can also do for an added benefit is to mute with your pinky. Now, this is easier said than done for a lot of people, but especially if you grew up playing this music, it's a lot easier. So like this. Notice how I'm using my pinky to mute in between every 2 and 4. Okay, so that's the first thing you can do. Do that with all your bar chords, your C, your G, and so on. Next thing you're going to do is practice muting your open chords, all right? I'm not sure why my phone keeps turning off. There you go. Next thing you're going to do is practice your open chords. So your open chords, when you mute your open chords, you have to mute the chord with an open finger, whatever finger you're not using. So let's say we're going to do F, right? If you notice, I'm muting mostly with my pinky, but my ring finger is free, right? So what I'm going to do is mute with both of those. Just kind of relax. And if you notice, I'm still squeezing here on the 2 and the 4 for pressure to make sure the chord sounds good, but I'm releasing pressure in between, just like the bar chord. What I'm adding is covering these fingers. Why? If I just do the pressure that I was doing like a bar chord, I'm not covering all the strings. So if I do that, if I treat it the same way as a bar chord, watch this. These 2 strings are open, right? So what I'm going to do instead is mute with these fingers, okay? And the reason we do that is because this constant strumming here, that's helping us to keep our beat, to keep our rhythm. Now the next thing you're gonna do is work on all your open chords. So like G, for example, yeah, you have to angle your hand so that your pinky can get the top string. So what I like to do is bar the bottom 3 strings and put my second finger on the 3rd fret on the E string. So bar the bottom 3 strings on the 2nd fret, and the 3rd fret, second finger, E string. So now I have my ring finger open and my pinky finger open to bar. I don't always do it like that. I can do a G like this, but that's because I've been playing for so long I can angle my hand that way. You need to kind of experiment. Okay, that's the harder part about it. So a lot of people, even on guitar, especially on guitar and an electric guitar, what they do is they do bar chords, and on guitar they'll play the highest 4 strings, right? So instead what they do is they'll just bar those 4 strings. On ukulele they'll bar the whole thing and just play bar chords. And that way they don't have to worry about reaching over like that. I can do that on 6 strings too on a guitar, just so you know. It is not impossible. It's just, it takes a lot of practice. Okay. So I'm just going to play ukulele mock song. I love this song since I was in high school. This is called Hellfire. And I'm going to bar the C minor like this. So I'm going to bar the 3rd fret, put my ring finger on the G string, the top string of the 5th fret. I'm just going to play a couple of rounds, okay? Like this. Now, if you notice, I didn't mute on all of the 1 and the 4 and the ups and all that. You can play around with it a little bit. So you can kind of like... It can help with transition too. So you can mess around with it, but as long as you emphasize your 2 and the 4 and you're muting basically everything else, you're good to go. That is how it goes. So that was, just so you know, that was C minor, F, and G minor. Okay, you guys can look those chords up, but the main thing is you're muting in between the down and up strums. Now, the swing strum, you can also do that on the swing strum. Swing strum, for example, 1, a 2, a 3, right, down, up, down, up, down. It sounds like this. It sounds a little bit happier when you do that, but it sounds like this. Okay, so that's how you get that upbeat. Actually, the swing strum can make it sound easier to do the dance move called skank that they do in reggae. And if you're from Hawaii, you probably know what that is, even if you don't listen to reggae. So make sure you feel the beat too. Feel the beat outside of your hands. Feel the rhythm outside of your hands. What do I mean by that? A lot of people tap their foot, right? You can tap your toes, you can tap your heel, whatever. But if that doesn't work for you, you can always bob your head back and forth. So just make sure the forward motion is down, the back motion is up. All right? You want to keep the beat like that somehow. Some people swing their head this way. Other people use other parts of their body somehow, flexing certain muscles. Whatever works for you, you want to make sure you feel it, okay? Outside of your hands. Your right hand is going to keep your rhythm, but you want to feel it outside of your hands so that you can keep a constant beat. The more you feel it, the more you believe it, the easier it is to play any music, any song. I don't care what genre, okay? So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to bob my head intentionally so you guys can see the beat, all right? So... Okay, that is an example, and hopefully my student that I'm going to send this to will be able to catch that and practice, all right? If you're on YouTube, feel free to put the time tags on there. I'm going to try to work on it, so I put the tags in there. But yeah, first, learn your basic strums, standard and swing strum. Second, practice your bar chords, muting your bar chords. You can mute however you want, but practice muting except for on the 2 and the 4 after a while. That's the key to playing reggae. 3, practice muting your open chords. Okay, Some strings are left untouched, so you got to use whatever fingers are available to mute those strings. Then make sure that you're strumming down on the 2 and the 4, and you put pressure on your chords and then mute the rest. Okay, you can play around with it, but those two are emphasized in reggae. Most Western music emphasizes the 1 and the 3. This, you want to emphasize the 2 and the 4. And the next thing is feel the beat or rhythm outside of just your hands. Okay, so that's going to be the 1 and the 3 are the down beats, 2 and the 4 are the up beats. So I'm going forward on the 1 and the 3, and I'm going back when I was bobbing my head on the 2 and the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'll go sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you do that, it'll make it a lot easier. Okay, you want the flow, you want to feel it, and the 6th thing I always have to put on there: you got to practice. It's only gonna get better with practice. However, this is one of the few styles I actually feel like is easier to play and practice when you're playing with other people, and especially when it's on the radio or if you play it on YouTube or something. Okay, so if you got Apple Music or whatever streaming service you use, listen to reggae. As long as you are used to reggae, it's going to help you. You're going to be able to feel it easier, and you can play it. So hopefully that helps everybody. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. You guys can comment wherever you are: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and feel free to send us a message. Say hi, say what's up, how you doing, whatever. And also let us know if there's anything else you want me to go over, and then I can try my best to do that. Okay, let me bring you guys back up here. All right, guys. So take care. Aloha kako. And take care of yourselves. Be safe, and I'll see you next time.